Yo, what's up, everyone? Another episode of Mystery Commander Theater 100. I'm Reptile, and I'm joined by Synergistic.
Hi everybody.
And here we got some new decks on the channel. Why don't you take us through?
Yeah, we have Rhys the Redeem, which is an Elf Wolf deck. We have Karametra, which is a creature-based Stax deck.
Yep, Juri, which is a Rakdos just turbo deck, and the Dragon, legendary Dragon of the channel. It's returning again. So here, why don't you tell us about the opening hands?
Yeah, so Bad Kitty kept one lander, a couple a door kind of mana ramp, which is a pretty good hand for this kind of deck. I kept some ramp, 2 lands, a tutor to give me a creature, so just stacks out the board. Also, I think a decent hand. I did mull to 6, so I send the Brave Behemoth to the bottom.
Nice. Yeah, mine's a little risky, but it does get me there. I have tutors, I have pieces of my combo, I have 1 land and a Ragavan, so I think that'll get me there. And Resting just has a bunch of mana, so he's really playing for that late game and a gamble if anything gets too hairy. So, looks like it's going to be a pretty good game. I think you're the only one who mulled to 6.
Yeah, and worth mentioning that both Rhys the Redeem and Juri, we did a couple deck techs on those decks, so go check those out in our channel.
All right, now that we know what the hands, let's jump right into the game.
So Bad Kitty's taking us off. Like we said, only one of us small down to 6. We added a couple new things to our gameplays. We tried to do to a comment we received in the comment section. We're trying to indicate which player's turns it is. So if you have any comments or any feedback, please let us know. We actually read our comments.
And if you would like to get games in with us, links to our social media will be in the description down below, mostly on Discord. That's where we kind of just meet up. But yeah, some pretty standard starts, a lot of elves going out. I got a monkey and a pedal, so.
Yeah, pretty fast. I think everybody gets a nice turn 1 play, or several turn 1 plays. Good God. Yeah, we saw Resting's hand. He was full of mana rocks and
he gets rid of the dragon. Nice. So he has a rainbow chrome mox. You don't really see those too often. It's always taps for just like one thing. I think we're all in awe, just so you know. I don't think I've ever seen one tap for anything. So. Arcane Sickness, yeah, synergistic. I almost said synergistic. Resting is trying to just develop his board, get out the Dragon. Does cost a lot of mana, so nowhere really to go here besides the mana, but Dragon is a great plan anyway. Bad Kitty, elves get out of hand really quick, so 3 mana at the moment. Just see what Bad Kitty decides to put down. Marwyn the Nurturer, another elf that just gets out of hand with elves entering the battlefield. So
yeah, I've seen Marwyn decks. Yeah, Marwyn decks, or Marwyn in general, just gets out of hand so quickly. To be completely honest with you, I luckily drew into a stack phase, so Dranet will shut down the Dragon, and Juri, since those have not been cast yet, and 1 more elf, so little ramp going, just a humble ramp.
Very true. Yeah, the first Stax piece hits the board. I cast my Blood Pet. Here I decide to swing at Bad Kitty because I wanted to rip an elf off the top, and I did not think he was going to block. And he blocked with Marwyn, which confused me.
I don't think anybody saw that gameplay, dude. I was trying to deal with Marwyn in my head. I was like, how do we kill this Marwyn? And
that was honestly a game changer in my eyes, because I was, at least for my game plan, I was relying on having those, getting the Goblin Engineer down, and then just starting to really loop some things and get value. So now I'm on the back foot. I have 3 mana. And Resting plays more rocks, going through. Decides to Noxious Revival, so it does have a plan to recast the Marwyn, but I can see it if you want to stop me at all costs.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
I can see it. Deafening Silence. So now, all right, now I think I'm pretty secure in being stopped. I can't cast Juri, and I can't cast more than 1 non-creature. Thankfully, creature-based a lot in this deck. Tap a Blood Pet because I don't know how to play the game. You remind me. I was like, oh yeah, it's Stax. I'm so used to playing Greed. Goblin Engineer. At this point, initially what I wanted to do was I wanted to go get Genesis Engine, which would create a token every time a creature enters the battlefield. So it would give me the loop along with my Phyrexian Altar. But here I have to go for the mana to play out the rest of the things in my hand. I'm not drawing lands. It was risky, and we're seeing it go off. Ozolith seems pretty useless because I can't cast Juri at the moment, so it's going to be my sack.
Yeah, that monkey play, I mean, I guess heads up on Bad Kitty, right? He really just essentially kind of took you out of the game. Didn't know your hand, but
Mm-hmm.
that was really
And did it relatively safely. I would say, like, he used a card, and kind of took a turn back, but everyone's just developing a board state. And I would argue that he's developing his board state even faster after basically time walking.
Oh yeah, not a doubt. This deck is so resilient. It is scary how fast it goes.
Oh, and the new effects. Also, tell us if you like any of these triggers, if they're easy to follow along, and you're really able to get a feel of the tempo of the game and all the plays that are happening.
So for my turn, I just catch Karametra, which comes in as a creature. I don't think I have enough devotion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So not enough yet. I believe she needs 7. But
just one.
Yeah, I look at Resting Spore though. Look how much mana is in that side of the board. Holy cow!
And we also did get to see, in your opening hand, you did have that austere command.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be a huge blowout at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of. I'm just kind of sitting quiet, just letting Buff Resting and Bad Kitty continue to develop their board. I know when I do this, I will destroy some aspects of my board, but I think
it's not terrible.
Fine. Yeah.
And if anything, Dranith kind of did its job in securing that the Earth Dragon didn't come out super early with all this mana, because now all the rocks are going to be gone, so it's basically on a delayed clock anyway.
Yeah, for sure. So Resting went for the gamble. He only had one other card in hand, plus the gamble, so he had a 50-50 chance. It looks like he kept the card that he went for because he gambled away a Deflecting Sword. So I'll have to see what that is. Like Kitty goes for the Birthing Pod, which is a really good card. Nice, tutor that you can use right away. Constant tutor by sacrificing a token or whatever.
It's true. I'm usually used to seeing that thing win, so when it hit the board, I was like, oh, damn. Okay, I guess this Deafening Silence isn't gonna matter. But he just got it for value. As for Sentinel. So.
Yeah, which this deck is creatures. Card draw doesn't affect it as much.
Mm-hmm.
Get a nice little Arid Mesa, likely fetching for our planes. And I think I drew this. I don't think it's my opening hand. It'll be one of the Archon that will come out, which will kind of when it enters the battlefield, I get to prevent a card type from being played. So that will.
Oh yeah, you name a card type and then it
yes, there it is, instant.
Name an instant.
And
that's
I guess
a good hit.
Yeah, something to highlight for Karametra, which I didn't realize how good it was into playing it, is anytime you cast a creature, you're kind of ramping yourself into the battlefield, which is really good. It's like really good.
Yeah, it makes sure it almost turns the Stax pieces that you're using into mana dorks, because they'll just give you a land out of your deck. Is it only basics?
It's Plains or Forest.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so I could get like Canopy Vista, Savannah, Temple Garden.
Maybe even the ones that draw, like a
Horizon.
Those different types.
Yeah.
So here, you can tell how bad this board state's going. I'm casting a Jessica's Will without my commander, hoping to hit a land. And I also get a Bloodstoke Champion, which is amazing because I almost drew into another piece that I have naturally. Obviously, I don't know that the Austere command is coming. So right now I'm thinking I can go get my Genesis engine and I can start playing my Phyrexian Altar, and then we got this engine going. We can start getting past it slowly, because I know that I'm getting attacked here, but I think if I just play it piece by piece, they're all kind of inconsequential, so it doesn't make me get a huge target, but we don't know what's going on.
Resting goes for the Ristic Study, which is presumably the card he grabbed from Gamble. Something to also note here, we only have one blue deck, which is the Earth Dragon. Actually has a bunch of counter magic, and also you're kind of the only Outnods deck, which is why I keep swinging at you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just a couple notes there to be like, why are you picking on poor reptiles? And just like, I don't like him.
Yeah, I am the Outnods deck, and well, at this point I can't cast it. I think there are enough hate pieces to the point where I'm dealt with, but you just want to make sure. You kind of want to get the Outnods player to a low enough life to where if they cast it, it's not going to matter. Yeah. Here, Birthing Pod into Elvish Warmaster, so really just getting the army going. This is a really scary board state.
Yeah, the Allosaurus Shepherd has an ability where you can pay a certain amount of mana and turn your elves into 5/5 dinosaurs, or toughness and power equal to 5/5.
And the Elvish Warmaster also has an ability where they get +3/+3 Death Touch.
Yeah, so it's a lot. Yeah, Rhys is just making tokens. This is gonna get out of hand real quick, but don't worry. The police of the table always has answers.
Yeah, usually I don't see too many board wipes from Stax decks, but Austere Command's a great one because it's modal, so it allows you to choose things like Wrath of God are going to get rid of everything. It would have gotten rid of your Archon, but the Austere Command is really good in terms of letting you keep some Stax pieces that you want, destroying artifacts, those kinds of things.
Yeah, I think even in this board, I would think it's better than Farewell, which is another model board wipe, because Austere Command has the ability to you can keep creatures with CMC higher than like 3 or 4. So you know, that means I get to keep my Archon and Karametra as well. While with Farewell, it would have exiled all my creatures if I had to use that play, which with this board state I would certainly have to.
Does Karametra have indestructible?
It is, but Farewell is exiled.
Oh yeah, Farewell.
Yeah.
I guess if you don't have the devotion though, it's not bad because it's an enchantment, and then you can just pick creatures.
That is true, but I definitely have the devotion in this board state as it stands. So it's one of the fair, rare moments that one card is strictly better than one of the most common used cards. And we've been talking here about Bakit just literally been building his board state.
Yeah, Bakit's been searching. Leafcrown Visionary. It's kind of hard to talk over it just because, the audience knows, and no one can cast instants. Another swing at me. I believe, yeah, block with the Goblin Engineer. Thankfully, because I'm glad I wasn't greedy with it. I just took the damage anyway.
I thought you were going to be super greedy.
I'm done being greedy. You've seen how it worked out for me.
Yeah. So I paid 1 extra for the Rhys study. I led back Kitty Draw of the Esper Sentinel. I think here, and we might as well mention this now, this is one of the... We didn't catch this when playing this. I kind of caught this when editing the video. So I chose creatures with CMC 3 and less, and then I also chose artifacts. So essentially, Resting's almost out of the game. His board's non-existent, back Kitty is almost out of the game. And you were also set back a lot. Something that happened here, as you can see, is that Mox Salmon from back Kitty's board is still on the table. We didn't catch it. Unfortunately, this sort of does affect the gameplay. We'll just have to kind of move forward and pretend that he played it the following turn or whatever. I think the game would have been a little bit different, but again, everybody makes mistakes. It's not here nor there.
I also could have cast Juri there, but I believe I had. I don't know if I had something.
Maybe you forgot about Juri.
I think I did. I was just so that Dranith being there basically at the start of the game kind of just conditioned me into it. It's another thing that even if you're behind, you have to pay attention to the board state.
Yeah, and
bite you in the ass.
Mistakes happen. Like misplays happen all the time in Magic. It's what's more different than when you're playing like at a game store for like packs or whatever. It's like when we're playing this game, right? We're like talking crap about multiple things that are going on in our lives, or like making small talk, telling jokes and whatever.
We're actually friends.
Yeah.
So,
believe it or not.
But these kinds of games are good for practice if you do want to get into competitive, because you almost want those to be used to playing with those distractions, because it's just gonna happen. I cast the Blood Artist. That was my turn, so I don't think it can be relevant. It gives me life back, and it's another piece of the combo. So we got a top.
I guess back on my board, I played what's his name? Rule of Law effect.
Idle on a Relic.
Idle on a Relic. Yeah, so players can only play 1 spell per turn. Pretty redundant to the Deafening Silence, which is creature spells.
I think it really helps in terms of, especially since Bad Kitty's Mox Diamond is still present. It helps in terms of not letting them snowball off of the creatures, because then he might be able to pressure you a little quicker.
Oh yeah, for sure. I guess we're all playing at sorcery speed too, because of the Archon. All these creatures have flash, so everybody's only playing in their turns. Just, I think, kind of cool. Fair Magic.
It's not bad, not bad. Everything we're doing is kind of just sorcery. Like, I think I was so glad you didn't name sorcery, because I got to cast Jessica as well. You were considering it too.
I was considering. I looked at my hand, and I was like, wait a minute, I need this board wipe. So
yeah, and you're like instant.
Yeah. So Green Sun Zenith, I'm sure he'll go for elf. I think he goes for Elvish Heartbreaker, which will also tutor another elf, which is the Forest Walk. Which, if you look at my board and resting boards, there's a couple forests there.
I know. No forests on mine. I finally have an advantage. We got one, boys.
And I'm still going after you. Look at that. Man, what did you do to me, man?
You know, at this point, I don't know why the extra hit was there. I mean, the Gone Bombardment also, I believe, turned out to be a pretty key card, at least in this situation, because now I have my Sack Outlet, now I have Blood Artist. I'm just low on mana. If I can have the ability to find another combo piece, I do have the possibility of winning here, which is crazy. So
sure. Resting goes for Sense's Divining Top, which is a good, good amount of card selection. Only complete one spell a turn, but you can look at the top 3, get a fetch land, and you're off to the races. Back he goes for the Elvish Champion, which provides a little boost on Forest Walk, so he's officially not a threat in my eyes. As a Fellows Retreat, which synergizes very well with Karametra, right? Because I get a land that has a creature, so it pumps my creatures. Karametra's now a creature, so I can just go ahead and swing. My bad kitty. See one block with this Forest Walk elf.
Damn, 11 damage. It's insane.
Pretty good.
Here, I hopefully made him land. That'd be insane. That'd be really, really cool. But I just look at my graveyard.
You just passed the turn.
Yeah, I passed the turn here because I wanted to be able to. Oh wait, no, the instance. Look, this game was full of misplays on my turn. On my end, I could have swung at resting and brought back the Bloodsoaked Champion here. So I really didn't have anything to do. I needed to attack. Well, actually, no. I didn't do that because worst case scenario, I had Blood Artist as a blocker in case your board got too big and you wanted to kill us. That's why I didn't. I remember. Okay. Now that I'm thinking of it, because I can sack it in response, even if you have trample, and then kind of prevent the damage. So really desperate plays.
With Bastion provides my creatures 1/1 counters and vigilance. I don't read the cards, so I forgot about the vigilance. Doesn't really affect the game. Swing from a lot. I think it's like 10 damage or something like that. It's not bad.
Yeah, sure. Everything has Forest Walk, so it doesn't really matter.
I guess I could have killed you at this point if you didn't have a blocker, right? If I just went for you.
Yes. And then Bad Kitty would be in a... I mean, you kind of have to swing at Bad Kitty. And Bad Kitty being a homie, providing with spirits, because he knows who the arch enemy at this point is, where it's kind of going. Academy Manufacturer, because I need blockers to survive this.
Is it very,
That's my one.
Beat down kind of game? Like, we haven't really talked much about resting, but he's literally just like playing Sensei Stop and like rolling for mana crypt.
Yeah, drawing cards, rolling for crypt.
Yeah.
The Ur Dragon, there is no Dranith.
Yeah.
He might be a better player than me and remember that, and then he can cast his Ur Dragon a little bit later.
He's 2 mana off.
But he's finding it with his top.
Yeah. And we are busy with each other, right? Bad Kitty and you are trying to kill me. I'm trying to just win. So it's like, everyone's like holding guns to each other. Except Resting's just kind of chilling.
Resting's reloading while we're going through all our ammo.
He's a sniper. He's got a sniper on all of us. So I kind of told Bad Kitty at this point that I was going to kill him. So he was dead. Because he was, out of everybody else, his fourth state was the scariest with the Forest Walk. As we saw, the elves can pump each other and get out of hand pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's one of these situations where you kind of know you're dead to the next person, but not attacking them doesn't make any sense because they're just going to die. So you almost have to put the pressure on just in case someone has the possibility of killing them.
Sure, yeah. Because I changed my mind. I wasn't going to change my mind, but never know. When you're Captain of EOS, I think I made a little mistake here. So there's a cast trigger for Karametra, which will give me a Village Retreat trigger with the landfall. So I get to put 1/1 counters on my creatures. I think I end up putting a counter on when you're Captain of EOS. Technically, he's still on the stack, so he doesn't get a counter, and I somehow, for some reason, end up putting an extra counter on Karametra. I think at this time of the game, I'm just kind of going through the motions as quickly as I can to wrap up the game.
Yeah, these games do get kind of long with stacks. So
yeah. So we'll see those Yeah, look at that. Shouldn't be there. Somehow I put like 2 extra counters in Karametra. Whoops. And they should have
Vigilance came this time because
you called me out on it.
Yeah, that's one thing. I actually remembered it from MTG Arena when that thing was back in standard, and it was played a lot more.
Yeah. So
Goblin Bombardment. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say you blocked twice. You jump blocked twice, and then you did Goblin Bombardment at me, and then Blood Artist trigger. So I actually took damage from you, and you gained some life, which is pretty good on you.
Very relevant at this point, given one of these is going to get so big to where I'm probably going to need to stomach at least one hit, especially if you have flying. I'm going to need to stomach 2, essentially. So here, I'm thinking, what's the best course? I finally remember I'm playing my deck and I'm playing the game. I actually swing at resting for 0. Not making any enemies, thankfully, too, as well. So that's one great thing is I just got to swing at him for 0, and he's like, okay. And he never saw me as anything, so... Well, here I get to try.
I think even you and I were talking about this, right? Like, we're going so hard at each other, it's super likely Reston's going to untap and kill someone.
Yes, especially when you drop the Mystic Remora. It's just, we're put in this situation where, and this is where politicking, actually I think this is a prime example of a game that politicking maybe could have gone way different. Because you could have made a pact with me of Reston's a little too healthy. Maybe we should get him on the same level so he doesn't come out and do that. And then you don't swing at me, I don't sack and swing back at you. It's those kinds of deals in this board state can sometimes be the difference. I don't know if it would have been the difference in this game, but it seems like it would have at least changed the course had some deals been made.
You and I working together? Blasphemy.
Yeah. I mean, but you enjoy being the arch enemy, don't lie. And you like having this big distance.
So I think, yeah, so I went through combat. I'm kind of, I'm at 5, you're at 3. I'm going to go ahead and silence you doing your turn with Captain of K.Os. I think you have everything you need on board to kill me, so I'm essentially dead.
Yes, because here I was just checking to see, just in case Resting wanted to block and screw me over. That would have been insane. But here, I get to activate Bloodstock Champion. I attacked, do this on my second main phase. Now Goblin Bombardment and Blood Artist will deal 2 damage. So I can do this again. I have two more mana, and then I have my Blood Artist to sacrifice. So
yeah, that should be enough to kill me. I mean, we can be honest here, right? Essentially, Resting just needs to play a dragon with haste. And wins the game.
And here's another, and I'm not only gonna call you out on maybe not politicking. Here, you pointed out earlier, I could have just kept that and told you swing it Resting or you die. I was afraid of something happening, just in case I got silenced again. I shouldn't have been. I should have actually made that deal and not have Resting do this. But
yeah, so Resting goes for the Mystical Tutor. I think he gets a Show and Tell, and then from there, I believe he has Omniscience on hand, so he'll just play. I think he like a combination of Terror of the Peak and Dual Dragons that will essentially kill you on the spot.
Yeah, because Resting got to draw, just secretly drawing. Again, this could have been like a politicking move had I seen it coming, but being in the game is completely different because you have to go through the mindset of you just got wiped. You're drawing not your land, so it's always just that resilience. And in the end, the Ur-Dragon won. It put out a good performance. It's an upgraded version of it. How do you feel about that one? It's kind of your pet.
So I think my year resolution was, if you watch our previous video, was to make the Ur-Dragon good. I think it started amazing. I think you got so much mana. You just need a card draw with Resting God. I think the War Wipe just shut it out of the game essentially. So I think
and also a really smart pick on Ristic Study. Because that was able to survive and maybe draw him a couple extra cards, so not terrible.
Yeah, I think the Stax pieces hurt it a lot. If there was a Stony Silence or any of those kind of effects, like your dragon would have hurt a lot. But I think it had a really good start, I guess, from my perspective. I don't know how you figure with that.
I agree. I agree that it had a really explosive start. A lot of it was mana, and honestly, that's really good in the Ur-Dragon because the Ur-Dragon is just it can be a game-winning piece on its own.
Yeah.
I think that it was a good hand to keep, and he had a gamble. He had ways to get out of that, so not terrible.
I would say the deck that was most impressive to me was the Rhys deck. It rebuilt so quickly, so many times. It's actually, I found that very impressive. How well eats, how resistant it is, or yeah, no,
resilient.
Resilient. There, thank you.
Yeah, I agree. It was one of those decks where, like you saw, he was able to trade Marwyn for Ragavan and then just bring it back and resume his game plan. One of the main things that did shut him out was the combination of stacks and board wipes, because I think that deck is actually really resilient to most of the stacks you were putting down up until maybe the Eidolon of Rhetoric would have slowed it down. But yeah, the wipe was, I think it was the star player of the game, or at least the most impactful card. Not the star player. I think the star player was probably like the Karametra.
Karametra is really good. So we started doing something different this year for our channel. We're gonna be continue using the deck, the one, until it loses. It's sort of like a little gauntlet. We'll be having another similar gameplay with the same decks. So obviously the Ur-Dragon won this deck, but it will be played again next week, and from that gameplay there'll be a winner, which we'll keep using. But until then, I don't know if you have any final thoughts, Reptile.
I believe I should have mulled more aggressively. I think I saw the pieces together, but it wasn't super consistent. And against the table I was going up against, I knew there was going to be stacks just based on, Selesnya being at the table. So, there's going to be some element of it. I think I should have gone for a more stable hand, but I liked the fact that my deck was able to still at least kill you or like help.
Mission accomplished. Well, you guys actually high five when I died across the table.
Okay, I didn't do the high five. Bad Kitty reached over the high five hand, and you deny that? I mean, I know it's kind of awkward and it's in the middle of it, but his hand's already in the video. What's more awkward, me just leaving him hanging and looking like an absolute tryhard? Just like,
sure. All right, everybody.
But no, please the game.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Please give us a like if you like our content, or subscribe if you would like to continue watching our content. If you have any feedback, you can put a comment down below. We actually do read them, and we'll get back to you. So if you tell us how much you don't like our gameplays, or you do like them, we'll know. Thanks again, and stay basic, everybody. See you next time.
Yeah. See you then.